All right, let's just jump right into it. We're going to talk about something that's, well, it's both fascinating and honestly a little unsettling. How in the world do you spot a deepfake when they seem to be getting better and better every single day?
So let's start with a little test. Take a good look at these faces. Some of these folks are real, but others, they were completely dreamed up by an AI. So, what do you think? Can you tell the difference?
Yeah, if you found that tricky, you're definitely not alone. It's gotten to the point where studies show AI faces are so convincing that most people can't tell them apart from real ones. I mean, our own eyes, they just aren't the reliable tools they used to be. We've actually crossed the line that experts are calling the synthetic reality threshold.
But that doesn't mean we're completely helpless here. A good detective always starts with the basics, right? Just using their powers of observation to spot those first crucial clues. This is where we learn to look, not just to see.
Okay, so what are some of the classic giveaways? The stuff that older deepfakes used to mess up all the time. Well, it often boils down to the basic physics of a scene. You'd be on the lookout for things like inconsistent lighting. Where the shadows on a person's face just don't seem to match the lighting in the background. Or maybe you'd notice that a bookshelf behind them looks a little warped or blurry. These were the little inconsistencies that if you knew what to look for, you could train your eye to catch.
And it's not just visual glitches. You can also look for biological tells. Turns out AI really struggles to replicate all those tiny subconscious movements that make us human. A classic one was blinking. Early fakes often had people who just didn't blink right, either way too much or not at all. You could also spot really bad lip syncing or this thing called emotional dissonance, where the tone of someone's voice just feels completely disconnected from the expression on their face.
But here's the really crucial point, and this is a big one. Just because you can't find a flaw, that doesn't mean the video is real. This is the exact moment our human toolkit just hits a wall. If there are no obvious mistakes, we're left in a position where we simply can't be sure it's authentic. The lack of evidence of a fake is not evidence that it's real.
So that's when we have to move to the next level. Let's see how the real experts are tackling this, using tools that can literally see what our eyes can't. We're moving from just human observation into the world of digital forensics.
And this is where it starts to sound like science fiction, but I promise you it's real. Scientists can now detect a person's heartbeat just by analyzing a video. The technique is called RPPG, and what it does is it tracks these microscopic, invisible changes in skin color that are caused by blood pulsing underneath. It's a brilliant strategy, really, because it exploits a huge vulnerability in deepfakes. See, the algorithms are obsessed with making things look real, but they're not simulating actual human physiology. So it's basically this multi-step forensic process that turns a regular old video into a biometric scanner. The algorithm zeroes in on someone's face, tracks those tiny color shifts from frame to frame, and then it pulls out a signal. And if that signal doesn't have the telltale pattern of a living, breathing human heartbeat, well, that's a massive red flag that you're probably looking at something manipulated.
But of course, no single tool is a silver bullet. This heartbeat detection thing, it can get thrown off by, say, really compressed, low-quality video or even different skin tones. And there are other advanced methods out there, like analyzing gaze patterns or using another AI to hunt for statistical weirdness, but they all have their own limitations too. It's a never-ending cat-and-mouse game between the creators and the detectors.
This constant arms race has actually pushed a lot of experts to a really powerful conclusion. What if we're asking the wrong question entirely? See, instead of this endless chase, trying to prove that a video is fake, what if we flipped the script? What if we focused on proving that an authentic video is, in fact, real? This is a huge shift in thinking, from detection to authentication. The idea is, instead of chasing a target that's constantly moving, let's build a durable, verifiable chain of trust for real content, right from the second it's created. And the main tool being developed for this is a new open standard called C2PA. The best way to think about it is like a secure digital nutritional label or a birth certificate for your media. It's cryptographically signed to show you exactly where a photo or video came from, who made it, and its entire edit history.
So how does this whole thing actually work? Well, imagine a C2PA-enabled camera or app captures an image. Instantly, a secure little package of metadata gets cryptographically signed and attached to that file. This manifest then travels with the file wherever it goes, and any C2PA-aware app can look at it and verify if the file is exactly as it was when it was first created. It's all about that unbroken chain of trust.
So is this it? Is this the unbreakable solution we've been waiting for? I mean, a secure, verifiable system for proving something is real? Sounds pretty perfect, doesn't it?
Well, not quite. There's a pretty big loophole. A creator can be dishonest. They could make a deepfake from scratch and then use a C2PA tool to sign it, essentially creating an authenticated fake. The digital signature is perfectly valid, the chain of custody is intact from that point forward, but the content itself is a lie. The system proves who signed it, not that what they signed is true.
And all of this brings us to the pretty sobering reality of where we are today in this fight for digital truth. A brand new research paper from just this year, February 2026, in fact, pretty much confirms our worst fears. It says that our best state-of-the-art detection models perform markedly poor when they're challenged with deepfakes made using modern techniques. Basically, the tech to create the fakes is currently winning the race against our tech to detect them.
And look, this isn't just some social media problem. This number, 80%, that's the percentage of modern court cases that now rely on video evidence. And every single one of those cases now inherits this cloud of deepfake doubt.
And this creates something that experts have a name for: the liar's dividend. It's a huge problem. It means a bad actor can point to real, authentic evidence and just dismiss it as a potential deepfake. Suddenly, the burden of proof is flipped. It undermines the entire system because now even the truth can be questioned.
So that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? If we can't fully trust our own eyes, and technology is locked in this endless arms race, how do we actually decide what's real? This isn't just a tech problem anymore. It's a trust problem. It's about how we navigate a world where seeing, well, it's just not believing anymore.